Hi, this is Bart with the Bicycle Rider YouTube, and today we have the 2021 Stumpjumper Alloy. This is a bike that 40 years in the making basically, and they have come up with one of the most ultimate trail machines for multi-purpose that you can find. Surprise, surprise, Stumpjumper Alloy is coming in at $2,200. So if you have shot for mountain bikes, especially full suspension quality mountain bikes, to get something that the engine has actually been engineered to outperform just about any bike out there, as far as a trail-worthy bike that you can ride and afford to ride, look no further. The Stumpjumper Alloy really is a fabulous machine. It is such a good machine that you might have trouble finding them right now, but we are just coming out of the corona pandemic. As you know, there's a bike boom, and Specialized has come out with a bike that everybody wants for good reason. Let me just touch on some of the highlights of this bike. And of course, this is the Stumpjumper Alloy. They do make this in a carbon model, but in the alloy you are able to save a little bit of money, and Specialized does a fantastic job on their alloy frames. This frame is trail engineered, and it does have a flip chip. So with the flip chip, you could really change the head angle and bottom bracket height of this bike very easy. If you wanted to go a little bit lower and slacker, because you were going to point this thing down some serious hills, then you just flip it down. If you wanted to go up, I think you can do a 7mm rise to the bottom bracket and a half a millimeter angle to the head tube. So you can raise this bike and higher the head tube if you want to get more flowy speed out of it. It's nice to have a bike that'll do both purposes. But really, either or, they have engineered this bike to really push through a trail system very efficiently. If I was going to go on a road trip right now, this is the bike that I would throw in my van to hit just about any trail out there. I'm living down here in the South Mississippi. We have some awesome trails down here, but it is fast and flowy. This bike can do fast and flowy and put a smile on your face really easy. But if I were to go, let's say, up to North Carolina, someplace Tennessee, where there's a little bit more downhill, this bike does that as well too. So I would love to go catch some air on this bike and point it downhill. It does come stock with a nice dropper post, SX drive system. We've got the Tektro brakes on it. Nice big rotor. So I'm going to turn this bike around real quick so you can see the front brake rotor. I'm just hitting a couple quick touch points. You can really go to the Specialized website if you wanted to see all the specs and angles and geometry of this bike, but it is a new style geometry, which is lower, slacker, and a whole lot of fun. This bike gives you a lot of control, but it also allows you to push the limits of your speed as well. And they're doing it, putting all this technology together for $2,200. So if you can get your hands on a Stumpjumper Alloy, you won't regret it. Let me go ahead and put this bike on the scale. If you do like our content here on the Bicycle Rider, please hit subscribe, and that helps YouTube rank us. So let me put this bike here on a scale so we can get a real weight. And of course, I'm just holding this in my hand instead of a stand, but it's going to give us, a fairly decent weight. So I've got, about 36 pounds. And this is bone stock with a pair of, Crank Brothers Stamp 1 pedals on it. So very respectable. And the bike does ride lighter than it looks. If you start pushing the pedals on this bike, it wants to go with this geometry. Specialized has really dialed this thing in. The RockShox 35 is, this fork soaks up a lot of bumps. It's 140 millimeters in the front, 130 millimeters in the back with a fusion suspension on the back, and this bike is just awesome. 2021 Stumpjumper Alloy. It's badass. Try one. Thank you.